Hey everybody, welcome to another episode of Salty Tears, the show where we rank things and theoretically we're supposed to get salty about them, but we're typically too nice to do something like that. Today I'm joined by Joseph. Hello, Joseph.
Hello, hello.
And we're
How
going to
are
be
you?
ranking all the tracks in Mario Kart 64. Now, if you just love Mario Kart 64 the way Joseph, I know that you do,
I do.
and you want to see more content, we did a backlog crew, which is sort of a game club type discussion that we do on our channel with me and Joe and our friend John. So if you want to check that out, you should finish this video, like this video, subscribe to our channel, and then also go watch that video and then do all those things again. Except don't resubscribe because you can't do that.
And then comment on both of them.
Yeah, just all the engagement. It really helps us out. Full transparency, we had a really good conversation about Banshee Boardwalk and Bowser's Castle, and then I realized that I forgot to press record. So we're not going to reenact those conversations, but we can bring up the main points. Joe, you had Banshee Boardwalk in C. Why was that?
Yeah, because it's incredibly forgettable. It's whenever I look back at playing this game as a child, I remember how I never selected this stage. So I've been basically just forget about it every time I think about this game.
And I am going to put it in B because I have some difficulties with it because I'm bad at Mario Kart 64 with the really sharp turns and the lack of the railing. But Joe, you mentioned that it's really forgettable for you. But for me, this is, before I replayed it for our backlog crew, this is the only Mario Kart 64 stage that I actually remembered. And so for me, it's extremely nostalgic, even if it's not the best track. I still think it's good.
Yeah, we just split memories amongst each other. Together we have a complete memory of the game.
I don't know. If you remembered everything but Banshee Boardwalk, if that's what I'm contributing, then that's a sad cooperation. I put Bowser's Castle at F. I'm gonna quickly relist all the reasons. There are sharp turns, much like Banshee Boardwalk, but instead of falling off and Lakitu saving you, you just careen into a corner between two walls and have to drive through grass and back up and hope you get back on course before you're in 8th place, except you won't. You will be in 8th place. All the thwomps are mean, except for the green one that's in the cage. That's apparently fans call Marty. And there's lava pits that you just fall into because they happen after sharp turns, and what else can you do but fall into them? And this is the worst Bowser's Castle. Joe, thanks for listening to that spiel twice.
I mean, if you're bad.
I mean, yeah, I am, but this is my tier list, so back off.
I put Bowser's Castle in C tier because I actually did enjoy it as a child, and partially because of Marty the Thwomp. Also, apparently, canonically, he's the one who laughs whenever you drive into the castle.
Oh, really? It's not like... See, I've always wondered about that because...
It's not part of like the soundtrack or anything. It's just... Yeah, you drive into the castle and you hear, and that's Marty.
In my mind, I've always been like, oh, that's Bowser. But like that makes zero sense because Bowser's a racer in every Mario Kart game.
Yeah.
So wait,
there is a giant Bowser statue.
Yeah. But wait, the laugh happens not just in this game. It happens in other Mario Kart games for Bowser's Castle. Is the implication that Marty is like hanging out in other Bowser's Castles?
He's in the audience or something. I don't know.
I hope that he gets out.
Maybe
he
did his time and got out by the time of the other games.
I hope he's just hanging out like in like the press box of Bowser's Castle tracks. And
it also makes you wonder if he's in prison at Bowser's Castle. Does that mean he was a good guy?
I bet he just like didn't clean up his bunk one time. Like I bet we just happened to come.
And then Bowser was like, away with you.
He was like a model employee, but then he like spilled a soda and was like, I'll clean that up tomorrow. And then they did inspections and Bowser threw him in jail. And it was like, oh, and also we're going to have everybody in the Mushroom Kingdom race through here. And Marty's just like, man, this is the worst timing of my life.
You're put on display as being the guy who's in prison in Bowser's Castle while everybody's driving around having fun.
Yeah, it's a spectacle. Joe, do you want to write Mario Kart 64 fanfic? Is that what's happening right now? Because we can do that.
I mean, maybe that could be another episode, or we could just start a new series of just fan fiction on the channel.
Oh, Joe's fanfic corner. All right, Joe, rank Choco Mountain before we have more bad ideas.
A tier.
Why?
Well, I mean, I'm not mad at S tier, but
Oh, sorry. Why in A
um,
tier?
because of the music, because of the ominous fog, because of the fun level design, and because of the Cocoa Puffs falling from the sky. And almost entirely the music, though.
I'm gonna.
And the fact how you can just fall off the edge and end up halfway back
Oh
in the
my
course, because
gosh.
that's just Mario Kart 64 for you.
That's terrible. I hate that so much. It's remarkable how many times I fell off the cliff to just the lower part of the track and they said, "Too bad.
Hmm.
Last place."
This ain't no baby game. Suck it up and get good.
I'm I'm debating between B and C. So Choco Mountain is one of those, as someone who didn't play the game growing up, that was just like talked up to be like the best track ever. And I was
Hmm.
excited to try it when it came to the Mario Kart 8 DLC, and it was fine. And then I played the Mario Kart 64
Yeah.
version, and the Mario Kart 64 version was worse. But
Yeah.
like, it's still a fine track. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. I do enjoy it. Like, it's interesting. The Cocoa Pebbles falling from
Hmm.
the sky is fun. Um, the fog is interesting because I have played this on an original N64, and the fog in this is like devastating. Like, you can't see two car
Oh
lengths in
yeah.
front of you, which
It's
is
wonderful.
interesting but also kind of frustrating if you're new. But the Switch Online uh, app doesn't really render fog in N64 games the way it's supposed to,
Hmm.
and so it's really not hard to see at all. So that's kind of an interesting way to play the track. It kind of makes it feel different. But
Yeah.
I think I'm content moving it to B. We'll have the chance to rearrange these if we don't feel good about it by the end of it. Um,
Sure.
that being said, DK Jungle Parkway. I mean, that's just one of the best tracks in the game. I mean, you jump over a boat. If you accidentally drive into the grass, helpful. We're just gonna say people because I don't want to get into the specifics of it. That are living in the jungle, throw rocks at you and knock you back on course. And there's like a part where you're supposed to drive into the cave, and it's like the opposite of Choco Mountain, where instead of falling and skipping a bunch of the track, and having to redo a bunch of the track, you can just drive straight up the sheer cliff and skip a bunch of the track. It's great.
I'm gonna feel bad forgetting the name of the enemies that were in that.
I
Oh, the
mean,
Kiwanos. That's what they were. The
yeah, I don't.
Kiwanos are the fruits that are thrown at racers.
Oh, so it's just the fruits launching themselves off of the trees.
It well, it says fruits that are thrown at racers. So, according to the Mario Kart wiki, they're being thrown by someone, but it doesn't say who.
Oh, okay. I like the theory that they're just launching themselves. It's like
They're jumping into slingshots themselves and just launching.
it's like Wispy Wood style, like trees protecting the forest kind of thing.
Yeah. I felt like I had to remember the name because we mentioned it in Backlog Crew.
Mm-hmm. Where you putting DK Jungle Parkway, Joe?
Also S tier. It's a fantastic course. There's so much going on. You jump over a giant boat, you're driving through the jungle, you go in a cave, you go over a giant bridge. There's just a lot to it. There's a lot to love in this level.
And the bridge is nice because it kind of funnels you. Like you
Hmm.
can mess up and like just run into the wall beside it and just miss it, but it's harder to do that than you'd think.
Yeah. And you can also just carry 5 bananas and drop them all on the bridge and nobody can do anything about it.
That is really funny too. It's really interesting. I noticed when I was playing, when you jump over the boat, it looks like it's a fully modeled boat, but I think actually only like the front half is modeled, like the half that you see, because there aren't railings on like the backside.
Mm.
I just think
Well,
that's
you
a.
can see both sides, can't you?
I
Could
don't
you see
know.
the one side of it when you're jumping over it, and then you land on the other side? You could just turn and look at the other side,
That's
couldn't you?
true.
I don't know if I've ever done that.
Maybe it was just a weird angle thing, and like things weren't loading in unless you're at a certain angle. But I definitely the railing stopped like at the tip of the front of the boat and then didn't continue around, which was funny.
Or maybe they did fully render a 3D model of a steamboat and not the characters in the game.
There's something charming about the sprites. There really is.
Yeah. See, the more you think about it, the more you love this game.
I mean, this isn't a terrible game. There's just I'm not gonna spoil our backlog crew. Frappe Snowland, Joe. It's your turn.
B tier
Really?
because I like ice levels in this game.
You're a
And also the
monster.
little snowman dudes with the little caps or the
Yeah.
buckets on their heads, and
Yeah.
how there's secretly literal bombs
Yeah.
that stop you dead in your tracks for 10 seconds, and how there's a whole minefield of them at one point, along with their giant snowman overlord. Wonderful.
See,
I love that track.
all the things that you're saying are funny and true, but like it is so
Uh-huh.
frustrating to actually drive through it, especially in this game where the steering. I feel like if I need to go right a little bit and I hit right, he's like, let me veer left first, and then
hmm
just launches straight into the snowmen. Like navigate. I don't think I a single time made it through the minefield of snowmen without just getting launched. I genuinely don't think that happened.
That's
Um,
that's kind of a general overview of how I feel about this entire game. It's funny, it's charming, and it's frustrating.
I'm. I gotta put this
That's
in
why I
it.
love it.
I mean, I get it.
Aw.
There's fun to be had. I gotta put this in F tier. D tier. It is better than Bowser's Castle, I think. The snowmen are funny,
hmm
so you got that. But they're hard to miss, which is annoying. But then also, there's no barriers on this track, and
hmm
so you think like, oh, these are hills. Let me use my mushroom, which will make me not slow down, so I can just take shortcuts. No visual indicator, but Lakitu shows up and is like, actually, I'm gonna not let you do that. And I think the snow is like a slightly different color, but it's really vague. Um,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure this track was on the Mario Kart DS, and I think they added some like barriers and made it, not bad.
Oh, that's kind
So
of lame.
I'm gonna put it, I'm gonna put it in D for now.
Okay, I can live
Um,
with that.
Calamari Desert is A tier. It's really not that interesting of a track. Like it's just flat, and it does have desert that you can drive through without Lakitu like messing with you, which is I approve. But it's really just a flat kind of curvy track. That's not really that big a deal. But the reason that it's amazing is because there's the train, and
The train is awesome.
and if you're really good or if you just get really lucky, you can barely fly like past the train that's crossing to block the track and just leave everyone else to wait behind you for literally like 4 or 5 seconds, which is a lot in
hmm
a racing game.
Going back and playing this track in particular, it made me realize how like just how good you have to be to not get stopped by the train on the first lap,
Uh-huh.
because it's pretty tight.
Oh yeah.
And I imagine they probably did that just to make people run into the train
Uh-huh.
and, haha, run into the train and explode. But I I think before playing this and before playing the new Mario Kart 8 DLC, I would have put Calamari Desert in S tier, but I am also going to put it in A tier now because I think the Mario Kart 8 version of it is better, because the original one it's a little bit more bland than I remembered it being,
Mm-hmm.
because it's pretty much just desert and train. And in Mario Kart 8, they actually revamped it a little bit to add like some ramps and you drive along the tracks and stuff. And that one I would put in S tier now.
That's exciting.
But that's kind of the main reason I would put Calamari Desert in A tier now instead of S tier,
That's exciting.
because the train is still awesome.
I haven't played the new DLC yet.
Ooh, spoilers.
Oh
My
no,
bad.
it's okay. I'm really excited. I might do that tonight after we finish. Um
It's good.
One more thing about the train
Also,
is,
side note,
oh, go ahead.
oh, actually, I was going to say something about the train. Train is listed as an enemy on the Mario Kart wiki.
I was my one more thing about the train is going to be it's really funny because you have so much more like momentum in this game than I think you should. And so I
hmm
would be driving up and the train would be going by and I'd be like, "Oh, okay, here's the train." And I would let go and mash my brakes in what I thought was a reasonable time. And it would just end up I would like slow, 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 and then I think I'd be stopped, but I'd still slightly be inching forward and I would just like ram into the very back of the train even though I'm slamming my brakes. It's so funny.
Funny, charming and frustrating.
That's fair. That's fair. Koopa Troopa
It
Beach.
all comes back around. Oh, is it my go?
Yeah, it is your go.
Uh, I think I would put Koopa Troopa Beach at the front of B tier because I do love Koopa Troopa Beach. It's one of my most it's one of the ones that I think of when I think of Mario Kart 64. I don't know why.
Hmm.
I don't know if it's the weird gray and black water over the waterfall or the oddly placed ramps or the weird side path you can take that doesn't save you any time at all. But it's just kind of neat. And it's cool to be in like the first cup and it's like, oh, you're on the side of a beach and there's crabs everywhere and weird jumps and that really hard to get shortcut that you can make. I don't know, it's just kind of cool.
Koopa Troopa Beach walked so that Koopa Cape could run. The
Which one's Koopa
is
Cake?
that the one I'm thinking of? The Wii one? It's like it's similar. It's like a Koopa Beach
Oh
themed level.
yeah.
That's like really good.
Oh yeah, that's totally fair. I love that level. I had
Coop,
to pull it up to remember it. Yeah, that
there's
level's great.
there's nothing blatantly frustrating in Koopa Troopa Beach like there is in Frappe Snowland and Bowser's Castle, but it
Hmm.
feels like it's like a hodgepodge of ideas, but it doesn't feel like it's cohesive.
Hmm.
Like you talk
Yeah,
about,
I'll
there's
give
the
you that.
side paths that don't save you time, and I don't know, maybe they like measured them out and made sure everything was even. It just feels like
Hmm.
you never know which one's the best way to go, and the ramps just feel like randomly placed because
Yeah.
you don't get enough air to do anything. Like there's no tricks in this game. They don't
Mm.
give you boosts, and they don't give you to a higher elevations. They're just kind of there, and most of the time I avoided them because it felt like they slowed me down.
Yeah.
There's that one shortcut that I never got because I'm bad at things. I tried in the footage that I recorded for the backlog crew, which I really hope John recorded me just like pounding into the wall.
Hmm.
Um, I
That would be
like
great to watch if anybody's curious.
I like this that the sidesteppers are in it. I love it when they bring like the
Hmm.
sidesteppers and like the oh my gosh, what are they called? Like the little fly guys from like the original Mario Bros. Like I think that's fun.
Yeah.
It's a cool aesthetic, but it's just as a track for me.
There's also there's that one really tall ramp that goes over that giant green rock for some reason.
Can you make that?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, you can jump over the green rock and go down the other side for, if you want to.
I kind of want to do that. That
I
sounds
think there's
fun.
an item up there. I don't remember. Yeah.
Speaking of forgettable, Luigi Raceway. Um, Luigi Raceway gets it's a B. It's just like a solid. It's the first course. It does what it needs to do, just like every
Yeah.
Luigi track does, and it's just here's a non-offensive way to get your bearings.
Yeah. I'll put it in C tier for essentially the same reasons. It's just kind of it's Luigi's Raceway. There's not really anything that happens. There's the hot air balloon that comes down and you can jump and get an item, but it also happens right after everybody else is getting items, so it's not
Yeah,
like a significant advantage.
it's really close.
I don't know. You just kind of drive in a circle and there's some dirt and there's a tunnel. Eh, it's fine, I guess.
I think it's a really good like first track.
Yeah, it's just plain.
It is. It's very plain.
It's not harmful or anything. It's just plain.
What about Mario Raceway, Joe?
Oh man. Speaking of great tracks, it's C tier too.
It's also
It's
C
it's
tier.
just plain too. There's there's a big tunnel. There's some piranha plants, I guess. That's kind of cool, but it's just like slightly curvier Luigi Raceway
I think
and a
Mario
little longer, I guess.
I think Mario Raceway might be the most forgettable track in this game for me. Because I know there's
Hmm.
like some sand pits. I think there's an oil slick or two, but
Yeah,
that could be the Game Boy Advance version, honestly.
I, I think that's the GBA version.
Yeah, I just it it's also relatively inoffensive, but in my opinion, it's worse than
Hmm.
Luigi Raceway.
Yeah.
It's just like it's so simple that it doesn't do anything interesting, but it's just a little more
Hmm.
tedious to drive. So
Yeah.
more
And
tedious without adding
it's in the
fun.
yeah, it's in the second cup, and it's like it's the last one coming down from like Choco Mountain and Frappe Snowland. So I don't know if they were just trying to give you a calm course to round out all the other craziness in the Flower Cup, or what. It just seems like it should have kept going up from that point on, and it just brought it down to
Yeah.
me.
Oh look,
Ooh,
I
I thought you didn't like that track.
so to be honest, I adore Moo Moo Meadows. Just that's like probably my favorite track ever in Mario Kart. Probably not, but like I just actually love it, and I don't know why I like it so much. Um,
Hmm.
and this might be completely different than what I said in the backlog video. I don't remember, but I'm just remembering like, yeah, that was fine. It was a fine track. It wasn't frustrating, and also there were like cows and Monty moles and all the stuff that I like about Moo Moo Meadows. So I'm gonna put it
Hmm.
there, and I'm not gonna look back.
Okay. Um, I think I'm gonna already do a swaparoo now that I'm looking at the rest of the courses here. I'm gonna put Mario Raceway in D and Moo Moo Farm in C
Okay,
because I don't really like Moo Moo Farm that much. It's like okay, but it seems like it's just more frustrating because I want to like go fast and take all the inside turns, but all the inside turns are covered with the Monty moles that will make you explode.
but see the thing with the Monty moles
So it
is
just feels like I have to
the Monty moles
go. Uh-huh.
they're not like constantly there like the snowmen are, or like the piranha plants or whatever obstacle, the thwomps.
Yeah.
They appear and then they disappear, and you're like, I can run the risk of hoping that my timing is right, or I can take the
I don't
outside
think
lane.
I don't think my timing has ever been right when I've tried to do that.
It's really satisfying when
Also,
you
apparently they're
manage
called
to slip
chubbies,
through.
not Monty moles.
That's factually that's I'm gonna call that fake news. I think that's what we're doing these days, so that's what I'm gonna call that.
Yeah, maybe that's as real as Marty's name. I don't know.
See, I want to say
Oh
like
man.
Monty Mole is like the mole dude. I could have sworn, or maybe this was my childhood brain, but you know the moles that like have the goggles and throw wrenches at you in like Mario 3?
Uh-huh.
I always thought those
Yeah.
were called Marty moles. But
Oh,
I could have
maybe.
just made that up in my like when I was a kid. I was like, well, I know that's a Monty mole, so this has got to be like basically the same thing. So I just made that name up. Who knows?
Right.
Um,
Yeah.
Rainbow Road, Joe.
This one's hard
I can hear your synapses like
because
firing
like
off.
because like it's like the legendary Rainbow Road from the N64, and you know it's crazy long, and it's got the big cool jump and the epic music and the constellations of the characters' faces that make it cool. But
But
it's really long, and it's really boring
it's about
playing it back
6
nowadays.
minutes long. Like, and that's coming in first
Yeah.
place in 150cc. It's about 6 minutes long.
It's so long and boring that like you almost want to put it in F or D, but it's so like legendary and it's got the cool jump in the music that I want to put it in like S or A. So like uh uh I'm gonna put it in D tier.
You can put it in D tier. I want everyone to I
Yeah.
want you to know that everyone knows how hard a decision that was for you, because your heavy breathing was coming through loud and clear while you were thinking about it.
I was making sure it was.
Um, that's interesting because I'm also gonna put it in D tier, and I really thought this was gonna be like the one with the greatest difference between you and I.
Well, see the one in Mario Kart 8 is like solid S tier all the way because it's much shorter and it has the orchestral remaster of the music, which was the best part,
Uh huh.
aside from the cool jump. But it's just so long and boring,
It
man.
really is, and
And I
it's
always get hit by the chain chomps. I don't know why. They only take up a little bit of the track, but I always get hit by them no matter what.
They always turn right towards you when you don't expect them to. It
Sucks.
it's a beautiful track, and the music's beautiful. Not that you can hear it over the engine noise, but the track itself, if you like look it up online, it's really pretty. um,
Mhm.
but like, man, I just every time I had to do it, I was just like, oh my gosh, here's. And then if you don't come in like
Yeah.
first through fourth place, just bad luck.
Hmm.
Like, oh, there goes
Yeah.
12 minutes of my life now because I'm not gonna stop on the last course and redo the first three. Ugh.
Right.
It just, I mean, come
I bet
on, Joe. I'm gonna name other Mario Kart Rainbow Roads, and you tell me when I name one that's worse than this one. Okay?
I can
Double
think of one.
Dash Rainbow Road, DS
It's a
Rainbow
little better.
Road.
I never played it.
I think that's probably the best one, to be honest. Wii Rainbow Road,
Yeah. It's pretty good.
Mario Kart 8 Rainbow Road. Even that one's not amazing, but it's better than this one.
Sucks. It's trash. I hate it.
Do you
No,
actually?
I would put that one in F tier. I hate that one.
You really?
Yes, I do.
Okay, well, I guess I was gonna
I would
say.
rather play the N64 one over the Mario Kart 8 one.
I even like I'm a Super Mario Kart defender. I even like Super Mario Kart and Mario Kart Super Circuit, which is the Game Boy Advance one. I like those Mario Kart. I'm just saying Mario Kart a bunch now. I like those Rainbow Roads better than this one. This is probably my least favorite Rainbow Road. Just throwing that out
That's
there.
fair. I've only played the Super Nintendo one on is it Wii where it's brought back? Or is it
Um,
Mario Kart 8?
I don't remember if the one in Mario Kart 8 is the Super Nintendo or if it was the Game Boy Advance version because they're similar.
Ah, true. Okay. That's the only place I've played the Super Nintendo one. But yeah, that's probably better.
Um, yeah, I don't know. If you don't have nostalgic for it, it's
Yeah.
fine. I don't know. D tier. Royal
If you're
Raceway. Oh, go ahead. I'm
if you're
sorry.
drinking I was gonna say if you're like, with some buddies and drinking grape juice or whatever, it's probably a lot of fun to just, hit Rainbow Road and everybody goes, oh, no, and then you're like, and then you all drink more and have a great time. But as a track by itself, it's just not that great.
I'm gonna edit that bit out because I didn't get it. Royal Raceway. I'm just kidding. I'm not gonna edit it out.
Hmm.
Royal Raceway. See,
Bringing it back.
you said you really like it, and that's influencing me. I'm pretty sure I think it's like fine. I'm gonna put it in B tier. It's fine. It's neat.
I think this is an S tier course.
There it is. Yeah, I was trying to fight the urge to be like, well, Joe says good, so it's good. So I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna put it in A tier because
It is good.
okay, I'm gonna let you
It
say
has
your
all the
praises.
good.
It's
Okay.
it to me. It is the better version of Luigi Raceway and Mario Raceway, where there's some
Mhm.
elevation changes. There's some drop offs. There's good like cool things to look at, like the castle and things like that. Like all that's great, but it is still just kind of lackluster for whatever reason to me. The
Mhm.
environment is still just very like this is a racetrack, and I don't know. I mean, it's Mario Kart, I get it, but like, come on.
Yeah.
And my biggest complaint with it, and this isn't the only reason it's at B, but my biggest complaint is there's a big ramp, and if you just are
Mhm.
bad like me and you miss the big ramp, you can continue to drive forward for a few seconds past the ramp, but there's no other way to
Mhm.
go, and you just hit a fence, so you got to turn around and then drive back the way you came, and then turn and get on the ramp, and that is just embarrassing when that happens, you know.
I don't. Yeah. I believe you. I don't think I've ever done that.
Well, some of us are good at
But it is
video
also
games.
like grassed off, I guess.
Well, you know.
I guess. I mean, it is in the name that it's better than Mario and Luigi Raceway being Royal Raceway. It's also one of the courses that like I think it feeling like a racetrack is kind of to its benefit in this track in particular because it really like it takes it all in by starting out with like the crowds on the sides, which I guess Luigi Raceway does too, but still. It has the drop offs, so it's more intensity than Mario and Luigi. It has a lot more like tighter turns. It's it's surrounded by water. It looks pretty. The sky is all pink and stuff, and it makes it pretty. And then the big jump, if you time it perfectly, as soon as you land and jump again, you can do another big jump, which was always fun to try and do when you were a kid. And there's the whole like 3D model of the Mario 64 uh area, the starting area that you
Mm-hmm.
can drive around in if you're just looking for a good time, which is also where they throw you in the at the end of a Grand Prix if you happen to make it to the podium.
Yeah, that's true. It
I
is
just love
neat.
this course. It-
It, it is neat to have
yeah,
that like
it is my favorite course in the game.
world building feels like a stretch, but just to have like the cohesive locations, that is cool to see.
Mhm. How
Well,
many other racing games can you just go off the course and see something like that you actually can see in a cutscene later on?
um,
And it
Forza
doesn't punish you. It doesn't
Horizon,
pull you off the course like Black do.
Forza Horizon 2,
That's different. That's an open world racing game.
Forza
That doesn't count.
Horizon 3. What about Sherbet Land, dude?
I'd put Sherbet Land in A tier.
And what tier?
I think Sherbet Land is a A tier.
Oh, okay.
I think this is a great ice level.
It's so good.
Just
It's so
from
much
the
better than Frappe Land.
Yeah, it is. It's charming. You got all the penguins sliding all over the place. The whole level is like an ice course, and you can fall into the freezing water. Have Lakitu pick you up. You got the little ice cavern you can drive through, and there's the penguins just chilling and slipping, sliding all over the place.
The
It's
penguins
a
making
it's
their
a
cute
charming time.
noises.
Mm-hmm.
I love this. Like, I like. You said earlier with Frappe Snowland that you like ice levels. Or, like, maybe you were talking
Mm-hmm.
about the aesthetic. I'm not sure. I like the aesthetic of ice levels,
Yeah.
but I like the aesthetic of ice levels. Frappe Snowland is a snow level. This one is ice. Like,
That's fair.
when you're driving, you have like the upside. I mean, it's not. I was gonna say an upside down reflection. I guess it's just a reflection. You have the reflection of your driver and all
Mm-hmm.
the other drivers, and I don't know. I don't know if the other like the penguins and the items and stuff have reflections. I didn't pay that close attention, but that's just like a neat
Yeah.
touch. It's like you're driving across cracked ice, and so there's some things where like, hey, this is supposed to be a wide turn, but if you build up enough speed, you can just jump over like a crack that's not quite that thick
Mm-hmm.
and kind of have a little
Yeah.
shortcut.
Yeah. Yeah.
And the penguins
It's
are
cool.
amazing. Penguins are Megan's favorite animal, which has rubbed off on
Aw.
me. So that's just this thing's just S tier all day, and I feel
Yeah.
like the penguin obstacles are they're a good mix between like kind of like the Monty Moles, like a good mix between random but predictable. Like
Mm-hmm.
they move around in kind of weird ways, but you can kind of catch the pattern, and if you're paying
Yeah.
attention and you're a little bit lucky, you can just make it through while everybody else is getting tossed around.
Mm-hmm. And the penguins at the front of the cavern are just better guards than the Thwomps are in Bowser's Castle because they're predictably moving, like crossing in front of each other
Uh-huh.
and sliding in front of it, so you can like see where they're going and what they're gonna do.
And they're cute.
Yeah,
No offense,
and they're
Marty.
cute.
Toad's Turnpike. I forgot about this one, if we're being honest.
Yeah.
Uh, your tone of your
Uh,
voice. Um,
um, don't really know.
um, it's it's fine. Is it? Is it?
Yeah,
Is it better than fine? Let's.
I'm gonna say no. You can say yeah.
Okay. I'm gonna put it there. So
Okay.
I I might move that, but I like. I'm looking at it. I'm like, ugh. I like that the item blocks are like on the side. It's like a pit stop you got to take if you want
Yes,
to get an item. And
it
sometimes
is
you're
cool.
like, oh, I'm gonna lose time. Is it worth it? And the answer is yes. Get the item. It's always worth
Yeah,
it to have an
always
item.
is. Hmm.
But it's cool, and I found like as unresponsive as the controls could be sometimes, I found the traffic to be like easy enough to maneuver through. And
Hmm.
it's hilarious if you get a star and you're just driving through and they just like launch into the air.
Yeah.
It's just a good time. It's a cool aesthetic. it always feels competitive. In later versions
Hmm.
of kind of like the city levels, they add cooler things like bomb cars and cars with surfboards hanging off the back that you can use as ramps
Yeah.
and shortcuts and alternate paths and all this other kind of stuff. But I don't know. My heart's telling me to put it in B tier, so that's where it's going to be for now.
I guess you could say it's funny, charming, and frustrating. I would still put it in C tier though,
Yeah. While we're
because I
oh, go
I
ahead. I'm
think
sorry.
like I was gonna say I think like every city like course in every other Mario Kart game after this is just better. Because this one is essentially just like Luigi's Raceway, but with cars. Because it is kind of just a figure eight from what I remember. And
I it's
it's
not
fine.
really a city track, but I think I like this better than Shroom Ridge, which is another like traffic track. Because
Yeah.
it's kind of the same concept, but you don't get like the cool city vibes. It's just kind of
Yeah.
grass. But I mean, fair enough.
Yeah.
That doesn't
What
invalidate
was
your
that
point. That's just something I was thinking.
city? What was that city course in Double Dash that had
Isn't it just
like
called Mushroom City?
the secret pathway in between? Maybe it is.
I think I'm pretty sure it's Mushroom City.
You're
That's a
probably
good
right.
one.
I
They
remember
need to
liking
bring
that
that
one
back.
more. Hmm.
All right.
Yeah, you're right. It is Mushroom City. I
I'm
like that course.
I'm looking at
Anyway,
this list, Joe, and my heart's telling me that I got to make a change.
okay, go ahead. Oof,
I
it's not the right change.
I no, hold on. Your tier list is wrong. Actually, I I've been looking at that this whole time. Like I don't like that track that much. Like I really don't. It's very boring to me, and
Uh,
it's there's parts of it that are frustrating. And I'm just like, and I have it in B tier, and I'm like, I guess it's in B tier, but I really nah.
but those parts are also funny and charming.
But they're very frustrating.
All
I'm gonna
right,
leave
that's
that
fair.
there for now. I reserve the right to change my mind, but
Okay.
I don't know that I will. Um,
Hmm.
Wario Stadium, Joe.
Is it my go first?
Is it? Maybe not. I'll go first. Who
Uh,
knows?
okay,
Here, let's do it at the same time. You ready? This is gonna super
okay,
work, even though there's a delay in the Discord call.
Def
Okay.
definitely.
3, 2, 1. B tier.
D tier.
Whoa! All right, explain
The
yourself.
stage is also really long and just kind of poop brown the whole time with Wario's face on the side.
It is very brown the
I mean,
whole
I guess the
time.
music is kind of fun, and there's like hills and stuff. It does have the funny, charming, and frustrating jump at the one point where you can fall and land halfway back in the course. So I'll give it that.
And
But
I
I
love
think this
that.
is one of. I think you love that.
I love
What?
it. It's great because I never
Where's
miss
this
it.
coming from?
I never miss it, but it's really funny when it
What happened to
happens
that
to
love
other
in
people.
Choco Mountain?
That one happens to me constantly, so it's not fun. This one never happens to me. It just
Okay.
happens to other people, so it's really funny.
That makes it funny.
Yeah,
I guess you're right. You got that going for you.
humor is when bad things
It has
happen to
that
other
one cool
people.
thing that speedrunners. You're not wrong. It has that one cool thing that speedrunners do where you can jump over the side of the wall,
Uh huh.
which I've never done, so that's not a benefit for me.
But you
So I guess I
could.
see what you mean.
You could do that.
You're right. You're right. Why do you say it's in up there?
I
D
just
tier.
I like it. It's like it reminds me of like an ATV rally kind of place. Um,
Yeah.
and I don't know, like Mario Raceway feels like a go kart track in the way that
Mhm.
like a cheap like county amusement park has a go kart track.
Okay.
This Wario Stadium feels like a high society go kart track where there's like ramps and jumps, and it just makes sense that you're driving all these little cars instead of just driving through a city where people who are just trying to get home from work. It seems like um, it is kind of
Yeah.
long, but it's not so offensively long like Rainbow Road is. The
It is
link
the second longest course.
for whatever reason the link doesn't bother me as much, just because I know Rainbow Road is so much longer that it doesn't feel terrible.
Yeah.
I like the I like the jumbotrons they have that show you what other racers are doing or show you what yourself are doing if you're doing particularly well. And I like that
Mhm.
that's like 4 frames a second. That one's fun. I don't know. I like
Tried my best.
typically if a stadium says Wario or Waluigi in the title, I'm probably just gonna like it for whatever reason.
Hmm. Oh, yeah, that's fine. You can like it.
All right, so we got one more,
Okay,
and we lost the turn
there's
order,
one more.
so we're gonna do it.
Do we do the countdown again?
Yeah, but I'm gonna let you do the countdown this time so that the delay does the different stuff.
All right. To even out the delay, I'll start at 20.
Okay,
All right,
great.
here we go. No. Let's. All right. 3, 2, 1. B
S
tier.
tier.
Oh,
Whoa.
okay.
Yeah, baby. What'd you say? B tier?
I said B tier, but I was really caught between A and B tier.
Well, let me sell you on it. Okay.
Uh,
It's got
Okay. All right, maybe I'll change it.
branching paths,
Hmm.
and
It's
unlike
pretty cool. It's pretty cool.
Koopa Troopa Beach, it feels like they're meaningful. It feels like
This
depending on
is
the
true.
path, like there are wide paths that are easier to drive, but they're a little bit slower. It feels like, and then there are narrow paths
Hmm.
that you're way more likely to fall off. But if you don't, it's gonna save you some time. There's a giant egg at the end that's super fun. You can
True.
see it in like the top left corner over there. That's how big it is. You can see it in the thumbnail for the track.
The egg is
There's
funny.
little porcupine dudes. Who knows what those are, but they're there, and that's a good time. And also,
Porcupine guys are charming.
it tells you. It doesn't tell you who's in first, second, third, any place. Even though the game full well knows who's in what place because you can see where everybody is on the mini map, and there are people in front of and behind other people. But it's just kind of fun. It's like, I don't know, you're just going all over the place. Just whoever gets to the end first, man. Good luck.
That's true. That is frustrating. It's got everything about this game.
And if you,
And it does have like the longest time to recover if you fall off the
it's
side. That's
such a
hilarious.
long time. you just, you don't just
You
like
know what?
fall.
We'll put it in A tier.
You put it in A tier.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Because when you fall, like
it's a good
Lakitu
course.
doesn't catch you. You just tumble and tumble for like 3 or
Yeah.
4 solid seconds, and then he picks you all the way back up, and
Hmm.
it's so frustrating, but it's so funny.
Yeah. It's not like in Mario Kart 8 where if you like start to go off the course, like a two just grabs you and pulls you back immediately.
No, there's like consequences. And the
Yeah.
giant egg does the same thing that the Toad's Turnpike cars do, where it just like flies up if you hit it with a star. I'm pretty sure
Yeah. I think it does.
it's a good time.
Does the giant egg in this game like flatten you? Or is that only in other games?
I don't think so. I think it just makes you like you hit it and you kind of spin out. I could be
Yeah.
wrong, but I think that's how
Yes.
it does. I don't know, Joe. I didn't hit it very much. I don't know why you're asking me, but
Because you're a pro gamer
I'm a pro Mario Kart 64 player.
who never hit the snowman bombs
I mean, those are just bad. So,
in Frappe Snowman.
all right,
Okay.
Joe, look at your
Yeah.
list. Is there any like last chance to change, or this is like what you're swearing by in front of God and everybody,
Yeah, there are no F tier courses in this game,
except for Bowser's Castle?
of course.
Yeah, naturally.
Yeah, I think I'm good with that.
I think I'm good with this too. Like I was concerned going in. I was like, I don't really know how I feel about some of these, but like talking it out, naysaying
Hmm.
your opinions, it's really kind of. I feel good about this.
Uh-huh.
This feels right.
Yeah.
So are we just
Yeah, I
agreeing
agree.
at this point that DK Jungle Parkway is the best one, or do you like Royal Raceway better?
I think I could go either way on that one. It would just depend on my mood for the day.
For the sake of saltiness, let's say that Joe and I will never agree on which track is the best, but we both like DK Jungle Parkway. It's an S tier.
Yeah. It's a great level.
All right. Well, Joe,
DK
unless
just has good levels in Mario Kart.
he does a DK Mountain. There's
Hmm.
there's isn't there like a snowy DK level in one of the games? That one's good.
Yeah. Yeah, there's yeah,
Uh,
the one with the like snowboarding section
yeah.
in Wii, I think.
And then the one in Mario Kart 8 is that's probably like S tier Mario Kart 8 track. I forget what it's called. It might just be like DK Jungle or something, but that one is super good and the music is fantastic.
Oh yeah, it's awesome.
Joe, do you have anything else you'd like to tell the
Great.
people in your sultry voice?
Subscribe to the channel. Watch our other videos. They're all really good. And Kurt's gonna make a playlist of everything if he hasn't already.
Yeah, I've got a playlist. You can start the Mario Kart 64 backlog crew and then just leave that running for hours, and it will take you through hours of other backlog crews we've done. Half of it's just going to be one episode of Mass Effect, but it's hours and hours of content. All right,
Yeah.
everybody. Thank you all so much for watching. We will see you next time. Bye.